Are you making small English mistakes that sound totally normal, but secretly hold you back from sounding fluent? You're not alone. In this episode of Book Talker English Learning Zone, we're fixing the 10 sneaky English habits that even advanced learners miss. From saying, I am agree, to overusing very, to forgetting those little grammar details that really matter. Stick around because we're not just showing you what's wrong. We'll give you real solutions, examples, and quick fixes to boost your fluency fast.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive? Today we're tackling something that I think a lot of you will find useful. We're looking at common English mistakes, but not the big, scary grammar ones. We're talking about those little sneaky habits that can really trip you up when you're trying to sound fluent and natural.
Exactly. We're going beyond the textbooks here. Even if your grammar's pretty solid, these are the kinds of things that can make you sound a little off, like you're not quite hitting the mark. And we're not just going to point out the problems. We're going to give you the tools to fix them, make your English smoother, more confident.
So, are you ready to polish up your English? Let's get started.
Absolutely. Let's dive in.
Okay, first up. I am agree. I hear this one all the time. Why is this so common?
You know, it makes sense in a way, right? It's kind of like, I am happy, I am tired. So you think, oh, I am agree. But agree, it's different. It's not an action verb. It's what we call a stative verb, describing a state of being.
Like, you're not doing the agreeing at that moment. It's just your opinion.
Exactly. So you just say, I agree. As simple as that.
Yeah.
No need to make it more complicated. I agree with you. I agree with that point.
Got it. So, ditch the am. Next up, we've got something that I think a lot of us are guilty of. Very. It seems like every other word is very sometimes. Very good. Very interesting. Very everything.
It's like the go-to intensifier, but it's so overused. And what's interesting is English has so many other words, much more descriptive, more vivid words. Very just ends up flattening everything.
Yeah, like using the same shade of gray for every painting. So how can we break free from the very trap?
It's all about expanding your vocabulary. Think about it. Instead of very big, why not say huge or enormous or gigantic?
That like colossal.
There you go. See, you already have a better word. And instead of
Yes.
very happy, you could say thrilled, ecstatic, even overjoyed.
Or delighted.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah.
It's just about being more specific, more expressive. Ditch the very, and your English will instantly become more interesting, more engaging.
Okay, moving on to a grammar point. This one trips up a lot of learners. Third person singular S. You know, like he go or she eats. Instead of the correct forms, he goes, she eats. It's a small thing, but why is it so tricky?
I think it's one of those things that's easy to forget in the heat of the moment. You know, you're focusing on getting your meaning across, and those little grammatical details can slip.
Especially when you're speaking quickly.
Right. But it's important because it makes a difference in how native speakers perceive your English. It just sounds more polished, more natural when you get it right.
So just a quick reminder for everyone. In the present simple tense, when you're talking about he, she, or it, you need that S on the end of the verb.
He goes, she eats, it rains.
Yeah.
Keep practicing it, and it'll become second nature.
Next up, we've got a pair of words that often cause confusion. Since and for. They both deal with time, but they're not interchangeable.
Exactly. Think of it this way. Since is like pointing to a specific starting point. You know, I've been living here since 2020.
So since gives you a specific point in time.
Real quick, if you're enjoying this, make sure to hit that subscribe button.
Right. And for tells you how long something has been happening. I've been living here for 3 years.
So for gives you a duration.
Exactly. And it's a common mistake to mix them up. Like you might hear someone say, I've known him since 2 years. But that's not quite right.
It should be.
I've known him for 2 years, or I've known him since 2022.
Making sure those timelines are clear. Good stuff. Okay, this next one is a bit of a head scratcher. Saying more better. It's like trying to be extra correct, but it actually ends up being wrong.
Yeah, it's a bit redundant. The word better already implies more good. It's the comparative form, so you don't need to add more in front of it. Just keep it simple. Better.
This plan is better than the last one?
Exactly. No need for more. It's like saying most best.
You just say best.
Exactly. Keep it clean, keep it concise.
Okay, our next point deals with something that I think every language learner can relate to. Literal translation. You know, taking what makes sense in your native language and trying to force it into English.
It's tempting, but it doesn't always work. Languages have their own logic, their own way of expressing things.
Can you give us an example of this?
Sure. Think about taking a shower. In some languages, you might do a shower. But if you translate that directly into English, it sounds really odd.
Do a shower.
Yeah. In English, we take a shower. It's about learning these common collocations, these phrases that native speakers naturally use.
It's not just about the individual words, it's about the combinations.
Precisely. So, instead of translating word for word, try to immerse yourself in English as much as possible. Listen to how native speakers talk, and you'll start to pick up on these patterns.
Okay, let's talk about asking questions. Sometimes you hear people saying things like, "You are happy," with just a rising intonation.
Yeah, it's understandable. In some languages, that's all you need to do to make a question. But in English, we usually change the word order.
So what's the right way?
The auxiliary verb typically comes before the subject. So instead of "you are happy," it would be "are you happy?"
And just to remind everyone, some of the common auxiliary verbs are be, have, do, and also those modal verbs like can, could, will, would, should, and so on.
Right. These are the ones that often move to the front when you're forming a question.
Can you help me? Do you understand?
Perfect examples.
All right, next up, we have a mistake that's particularly common for speakers of Romance languages, saying, "I have 25 years to express age." What's the correct way to say this in English?
It's simple. We use the verb to be when talking about age. So it's "I am 25 years old," or just "I am 25."
I am 25. No have involved.
Nope, just a straight "I am."
It's funny how such a basic concept can be expressed so differently in different languages.
It is, but that's the beauty of language learning. Always something new to discover.
Okay, on to our 9th tip. This one is about making your English sound more fluent, more natural, using contraction.
Contractions are huge in spoken English. I'm, you're, he's, we're, there, and so on. They just roll off the tongue so much easier than the full forms.
Yeah, I am. You are. It sounds so stiff and formal.
Right, like you're reading from a textbook. So whenever you can, use those contractions. It'll make your English sound much smoother, much more like a native speaker.
It's amazing how such a small change can make such a big difference.
Absolutely. It's about fine-tuning your English, making it sound effortless.
Okay, last but not least, we're talking about filler words. We all use them, those little likes, you knows. But when do they become a problem?
It's a fine line. I mean, everyone uses filler words to some extent. It's natural, especially when you're thinking or pausing.
Yeah, it's like giving your brain a moment to catch up.
Exactly. But if you're constantly using them, it can start to sound like you're not sure of what you're saying.
Or that you're nervous or hesitant.
Right. So try to become aware of your filler word habits. Which ones do you tend to overuse? And see if you can consciously replace them with a brief silence.
Sometimes a pause can be more powerful than a filler word.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It gives you a chance to breathe, to collect your thoughts.
All right, there you have it, everyone. 10 common English-speaking habits and how to fix them. Just to recap, I agree. Stronger vocabulary instead of very third-person essence for a start point, for a duration, just better. Learn those English expressions, word order and questions, I am, for age, contractions, and be mindful of those filler words.
Now, here's a challenge for you. If you can, record yourself speaking English. Listen back and see if you can identify any of these habits in your own speech.
It's amazing what you notice when you actually hear yourself.
It is. And even better, pick one or two of these habits to focus on. Just making a conscious effort to improve in those areas can make a huge difference in your fluency and confidence.
And if you're looking for more ways to boost your English skills, make sure you subscribe to Book Talker's English Learning Zone. We've got tons of resources, tips, and of course, more deep dives coming your way.
And hey, share this with your friends who are learning English. The more the merrier. We're all in this together.
That's right. We'll be back soon with more insights and strategies to help you master the English language. Until then, happy learning.
Keep practicing.
Like and subscribe.